Hello, guys. How's it going? Happy Friday. Another week has gone by in the vinyl community. Been watching a lot more videos. Been trying to catch up for those of you guys out there. Um, I really appreciate the support I get from you all the time. I'm having a hard time keeping up with everything that's been put out there, but I've freed up some stuff in order to allow that to happen more often. I have deleted some other social media. Um, Before we get started, I'll talk about that just for a second here. Um, I deleted my Facebook page the other day. I decided it was not good. And really, the only true social media that I was getting was from you guys, where I have a community of people who like the same things and we talk about the same stuff. And I found Facebook was just basically eating up all of my time. I'm like, I'm not even enjoying this. Just going through and being angry and having the algorithm put you in an echo chamber, and it was just like, okay, I'm done with this stuff. So YouTube it is. So I will have more time in the future to watch more videos. So anyway, that's enough about that. Happy Friday. Cheers to everybody. I'm still drinking this mocha porter made with real coffee. I drank like 3 of them last weekend. I got a couple more left here. Pretty good. Got a little bit of that bitter coffee taste to it, but overall, pretty damn good. So what I'm going to do today, I got a list here. There's a Kiss tag out there. I saw on Mega Jeff's Hard Rock Vinyl, and he gives credit to Kiss Army Things, and they have 10 questions, and you're showing a Kiss record, and I saw Jeff doing his, and I'm like, well, hell, you know me, I'm a Kiss fan, I can do that. Should have put a Kiss shirt on, but as you can see behind me, Kiss, 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 so we're going to do that, 10 questions, quick, easy thing. So, question number 1 is called The Amplifier Start to Hum. Show a live album. So Kiss has got a bunch of live albums. There's like 4 officials for sure. And then there's like some compilations with a lot of live stuff on it, plus all the off the soundboard stuff. And I don't have any of that. I'm not a mega collector when it comes to Kiss. I used to have a ton of Kiss stuff that I lost a long time ago. I have all the studio albums. I have pretty much everything. There's one live album I'd like to get my hands on, but it's way too much money, and I'll go to that later. So for this one, The Amplifier Start to Hum, show a live album. I'm just going to go for it right here. Kiss Alive. I mean, this is, in my opinion, one of the greatest live albums of all time. This is the album that blew Kiss up and made them a huge household name. It was this album right here. When this came out, that got people really, I mean, they were getting bigger, but this really got them the nationwide, which would lead to worldwide attention. And that's Kiss Alive. It showed us how it was done. So that's question 1. Okay. Question 2, or prompt number 2. These aren't really questions. So prompt number 2. Your Lightning's All I Need. Show any album by Ace in honor of Ace Frehley, who passed recently. So I am going to go with Trouble Walkin'. This is his, well, it's his 4th solo album. If you count the 76 album, he did 2 albums of Frehley's Comet, then he did this. So after Kiss, technically, because this isn't a Frehley's Comet album, this is an Ace Frehley solo album, I would say you could call this his solo debut. This is all Ace all the time, all the singing, whereas the Frehley's Comet albums, you had Todd Hallworth singing with him, if I remember correctly. So after Kiss, I would say Trouble Walkin' is probably Ace's first solo album, because he did Frehley's Comet, which was technically another band. So of course, it's about Ace. So, excuse me there, guys. So, Ace Frehley, Trouble Walkin', great record all the way around. Sure glad to find it this last year. So, all right. Pictures Only Begun. Show a picture disc. I only have one picture disc, and it is right there. That is, I'll grab it and pull it off the wall. I have it framed. This is the only Kiss picture disc I have. This is a interview disc. It says limited edition on it. I have no idea. This is, you can tell how they're dressed. This is from the Animalize. The pictures are from the Animalize era, and the interview is from that time frame. It's just Paul and Gene. And I have listened to it a couple times when I was younger. I have not listened to it in a long, long time. So honestly, I have no idea what they're talking about or what's on it at this point in time. But I've had it framed up for a while, and I, never get spun. So that's the only Kiss picture disc I actually own. There's a whole bunch of other ones out there, officials, unofficials, whatever. Not a big picture disc guy. I buy them if I have to, but yeah. Okay, prompt number 4, Tomorrow Tonight. Which one is played the most? Well, as a lifelong Kiss fan, this question was really hard. Which one was played the most? Because it depend on how old I was at the time and, my mood and what era we're talking about or whatever, When the new stuff came out, it was on constant replay or constant spin. But I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to pick Love Gun. This is basically the first Kiss album I ever heard. And, of course, I was late to the game. I got into Kiss in 83. They were about 82. They'd still had the makeup on. I want to say Creatures was probably their newest album. They hadn't taken the makeup off yet. But I went over to my friend's house, and he played some Kiss. And this was the first one I ever heard. And I love this record. It's probably my favorite. It's, I'll say Rock and Roller is probably their best album, but Love Gun is probably one of my favorite of the original 4 members of the original 8 studio albums. I would probably pick Love Gun over anything else. And this is actually the same copy. If you look right there where it says Mike, written in like 7th grader handwriting, that's my buddy Mike who introduced me to Kiss back in the day. So this was his. I'm not sure how I got it, but I'm going to go with Love Gun as the one I've probably spun the most. It's either that or Double Platinum. I mean, Double Platinum was one that was on my turntable a whole lot when I was younger. So, all right, prompt number 5, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. Which album is played the least? This one's easy. Which album was played the least? Technically a solo record, but they're all Kiss records, and that would be this one right here, Peter Criss's solo album. I don't like this record. A lot of people didn't. It's a jazz album. I guess next time, somebody's asking to show a jazz album, I should remember to pull this damn thing out. So, Kiss Peter Criss, I've had this forever. It's the only one of the solo albums I have that still has the insert. Well, you can't see that. There we go. Still has the insert in it. The other ones are long gone. And if you look at how clean that is, that'll show you how often I've played that. I spun it recently, a year or so ago, maybe a year ago. I think it was Jeff at Mega Jeff who was talking about the solo albums and how much he liked that, and it was better than we all remember. I played it. It may be better than we all remember. Now that I'm older, I may be able to appreciate it more, but this has definitely been the one that has been spun the least. All right, prompt number 6, When Lightning Strikes. Show a record you couldn't believe you found in the wild. Well, I just showed this one recently. Rock and Roll Over. Right there under Paul Stanley's eye is the Teardrop. This is technically a misprint, but these are highly sought after by Kiss collectors. And I got it for $20. And it goes for about $2.50. I got it at my local record store. It still has the inner sleeve, the OG inner sleeve. I would say it's in VG Plus condition. The cover and I didn't even notice it was a teardrop when I bought it. My rock and roller I've had forever was basically got tape on it and it's totally hammered. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, cool, 20 bucks. I'll just buy rock and roll over. And I got home, I'm like, holy shit, it's a teardrop version. Highly sought after by Kiss collectors, worth a ton of money. And I couldn't believe it that I just found it out in the wild. So they're a club edition, and apparently when they were printing them, some blue got spilled, and it just serendipitously happened to give us the teardrop underneath Paul's eye instead of a blue splotch someplace else. And once they figured it out, they pulled the press and, started printing anew without the flaw in it. So, but the Kiss fans, they love finding those. So, all right, prompt number 7, All the Way. Show a record you love to listen to all the way through, or that you should listen to all the way through. And my first thing is all of them. I'm a Kiss fan. You listen to all of them all the way through. We're vinyl collectors. I listen to everything all the way through. If it hits my turntable, it goes all the way through. So this one was kind of hard. Like, which one would you pick? Do you have to listen to all the way through? Thought about it for a bit. I picked Revenge, and the reason you should listen to this all the way through is the last song on side 2 of the album is Car Jam 1981. It's 2 minutes and 46 seconds of Eric Carr jamming on the drums with Bruce playing the guitar, but it's from the song Breakout, which was on Frehley's Comet, but the drum track is by Eric Carr, so they put Bruce on the guitar, and it's just a really cool tribute to Eric just rocking out and beating on the drums after his death. So, and this is a killer record, man. I love this era of Kiss, this early 90s era. This is the last official, well, technically, this is the last album before the reunion and all that. I mean, Carnival of Souls has this same lineup on it, but it was this. Then they did Psycho Circus and got back with Ace, and that was pretty much the end of that 80s and 90s era of Kiss. So listen to Revenge all the way through. Okay, next up, Money Can Really Take You Far. One you found cheap, but is well worth way more than what you paid for it. So I am going with Kiss MTV Unplugged. I got this. I bought this. I want to say I bought it on eBay for like $50, which, it's a double record, so it's not too bad, right? It has the posters still inside of it. And it had all the everything you needed with it. I had the poster. It's like I said, double, not a gatefold, but these go for $300, and I think I bought it for $50 or $60 at the time. So pretty good deal. Now they're going for like $300. So Money Can Really Take You Far. One I found for cheap that is worth a lot of money. All right. Number 9, All Hell's Breaking Loose, rare, misprint, vintage, etc. So I wasn't sure where to go with this, rarity or misprints or whatever. I don't really have any misprint. I guess the Rock and Roll Over one is technically a misprint, but so I'm going to go with this copy of The Elder. This is my original copy of The Elder that I've had since I was a teenager. It's got this label on it, which a lot of them do not have. Most of them have the Casablanca label on it, or the Polygram label, sorry. But the reason this one is sort of rare, and I know you probably won't be able to see it, but if you look there, the track listing, this is out of order. They pressed so many of these. The Elder is a concept album and tells a story. The order of this does not match the track listing. So if you look here, this is the order of the story, of the songs, if they were told in order. This is how you've heard it. If you heard any of the 2014, if you have it on CD, if you've ever streamed it, this is the order of the album. This is how you tell the story. That is not the order on the labels on here or the way this record plays. This record plays in a different order. To the point, when I had this for so long, and when I finally heard it in the correct order, according to the story, I was like, why is this album out of order? It still kind of throws me off sometimes because this is the way I grew up listening to it. So that one, I don't know how rare it is. Fairly, I guess. I don't know. And I'm going to go with this one as another rare one. I'm just going to show this. This is Kiss Alive 3. This is on white vinyl. There was only 3,000 of these made. I bought these at the official Kiss convention back in 1995. I bought this, and you can't see it in the camera, but if I kind of pan over there, you see that white vinyl sitting up there framed up. That's the other one of this. That's the other side. That's side 3 and 4. This is side 1 and 2 that I have here. The other one is signed over there. When I met the band at the convention, I had them sign on the vinyl. So there's only 3,000 of these made in the white, or actually 5,000 in the white, 5,000 red, 5,000 blue, and 1,000 black. So the white ones, there's only 5,000 white ones out there. I have one of those. It happens to be autographed. So yeah, so that's kind of rare too, I would assume. All right, prompt 10, final prompt. You're all that I want. Top of your want list. Well, I'm not a mega collector, so I don't really want a whole lot of bootlegs. I'm not interested in the off the soundboard stuff, which is out there. I don't like the way those sound. I have pretty much everything. But if I had to pick something I would want, I would like a copy of Alive 4. That's the Kiss Symphony one, but they're like $300. So Originals 2, which is a Japanese kind of repress thing of Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over and Love Gun, the same way the originals is Kiss, Hotter Than Hell and Dressed to Kill. I have the originals. I don't have the Originals 2. If I ever ran into the wild for a decent price, I would definitely pick it up. But anything I really want that I would have to have, I have everything I would want other than, like I said, Alive 4. I would take Alive 4 because I don't have it at all. It's a cool symphony thing. And the originals would just be kind of cool to have, I guess. You know, it's just those 3 records, and I already own all 3 of those. But if I found this out in the wild, black, repress, whatever, as long as it wasn't too pricey, this is something I would want to, because I'd like to actually play this. And I can't play it because I got the one hanging on the wall, and I've only got side 1 and 2 here. Side 3 and 4 are signed. It's never hitting the turntable. Side 1 and 2 of this has never been on the turntable either. This has never been, I've never played any of this. When I was at the convention, they cut it open. I cut it open, pulled out the vinyl. They signed it. It went back in. That's it. That's all that's ever happened to it, and it's been framed and hanging up on the wall. So since 1995, I think is when that happened. So anyway, that's the whole thing. Wow, this took a little bit longer than I expected. I didn't think this prompt would take almost 20 minutes, but you know me, you get me talking about Kiss, I can't seem to shut the hell up. So cheers to everybody out there. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate everything you guys are doing out there. Have a great weekend, all. I'll talk to y'all later. I do have there's another one I'd like to do. There's an AC/DC tag out there I may do either later tonight or sometime this weekend. So, but yeah, cheers all, and I'll talk to y'all later.